Well, so my guest already here, one already causing controversy. Michael Quaid Jr., he's a Deputy Communications Director of the MPP. Hello, Mikey, what's up?
Yes, very good morning to you and to your viewers. But mentioning controversy just before my name looks as if I am causing some controversy.
No.
So I wanted that
because
to
there
be
was
clear.
something that with you. And he's also a legal practitioner, but he's also here alongside the Member of Parliament for Damango, who is the Vice Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Energy, and Adams Butawakilu, known to many of his constituents as Gallos. Thanks for joining me, Gallos.
You see, the statement he made, he shouldn't transfer the controversy to me.
Anyway, and Derek Okosam had just gone to town, looked at the validation. We know that the EC will be meeting media, etc. But more importantly, during those interactions are also the issues that are the front burner of what will be discussed forthwith when we have the register opened next, I believe from this very weekend, from there to the next 10 days when we have a limited registration exercise. And I have to ask you, Mr. Michael Quaid Jr., would you say that it's an opportune time for us to get new people on the register, but also for all the controversies that have passed, at least put all these things to rest?
Well, let me start by saying that as for the register, it's always an opportune time to get people onto it. The only reason why we have the limited register duration is to make sure that something untoward is not done in the absence of the glaring eyes of the Ghanaian, where we have a system that when the EC doesn't do his job properly and you complain, then your polling agents are blamed. So the system is such that we don't trust even the EC to be able to register people without the watchful eye of either my brother's party on the other side, NDC, or mine on the other side as well. So it's become a problem. But if you go to other countries, like in the UK and so on, where I've lived before, the registration is solely up to the EC because they can trust them. They are people whose words are consistent with middle ground behavior. And if you noticed, when the NDC were in opposition, they were very skeptical with some of the things they felt the EC was doing. They even took the EC to court in 2004, went on a big demonstration in 2008, led by the then General Secretary, Isiedri Ketia, who was wearing what we call war smock, leading the troops. So now the EC, I mean, look at the recent statement from the EC that the Ashanti region register is bloated by 200,000 by Madame Charlotte Osei, only for the director of PR to come and correct it and say no, it's nationwide. We all know that the Ashanti region is a stronghold of one political party. So when you speak like that, it's like you are narrowing a certain angle on a certain people, and all of this creates mistrust. So for me, my humble opinion, there's never necessarily a good time, but if they've set the timetable, you know it was supposed to be earlier, but they moved it to the 28th. My only thing is that they should look at two things in particular. One, the eminent committee that they themselves set up said that they should look at an extension to allow, one, more people to go onto the register, because we know that the longer the period, the more people will be able to attend to the call. So that is something they should look at. Of course, I think, I'm not sure if my brother can help me on that, but I think they're going to open it again before the election period itself.
That'll be for the display.
For the display, but
after
registration will not be open again.
No, you just come and check whether your name is in.
Okay.
That kind of
now that, for example, could be looked at, where there could be another opportunity to register in future. In the meantime, there's a controversy about the word exhibition and whether there's validation or not. That in itself is a very big issue. Now, what are the issues here? Now, to cut everything down to the chase, the eminent committee, the MPP wanted a new register to cure the malady of the bloated register. The NDC said there should be an audit according to the CI 72 and CI 92, which are already in existence. And the eminent committee looked at it and said, fine, one, We think there should be no new registration, so that is out. But there should be exhibition. Exhibition, what type of exhibition? In their opinion, and they gave the facts. One, the old system of exhibition where you, me, him, local authority, births and deaths would be the ones with evidence to go and remove somebody's name. Two, you have to go to court in front of a judge to give the reasons why you want that person's name removed. And then the judge will go ahead and give a ruling. Was too cumbersome and also ineffective. That is the eminent committee. So in their opinion, there should be a new exhibition which will require all Ghanaians go to the polling station and confirm that you are so and so. And that is what we call validation, because that's what happened in Nigeria. It was called validation. And after that, Nigeria was able to remove about 2 to 3 million names off their register. And as you can testify, the Nigerian election was one of the best so far in Africa. So we, the MPP, we support that, fine. If you say no registration, no new registration, fine. If you say exhibition, fine. And if you also say that the exhibition as it exists now in the law, which is the constitutional instrument 92 and 72, is not sufficient to cure that malady, and that the alternative should be a confirmation or a validation, and that anybody who doesn't come to the polling station to confirm or validate within open and extended windows will not be allowed to vote. Just like in 2012, if you didn't go and register Roland and you have registered before, will you vote? No. The same thing applies to this. Two, and most importantly, when the confirmation is done, in their opinion, two things happen. The first thing is, we don't have to use forms. So it makes the process shorter. Because when you go, you put your hand on the machine, it confirms you a ticket. Two, and most importantly, a new law will have to be promulgated, which EC will send to Parliament to become a new CI. That is how CI 92 was done. CI 92 is not the Constitution of Ghana. It was brought in by the EC to facilitate, because you know, biometric register was not the norm. So a CI had to be brought in to operationalize that. So the same way, if the exhibition has to be done according to the recommendation of the committee, then a constitutional instrument must be brought in to operationalize the new rule. That is the only thing we are saying.
Well, I think that for many other things, it depends on which side of the political divide you are. You say they are justified or not. And we know that once the EC is meeting the media, these are some of the questions that you, the stakeholders, would want the media to ask. But for you also, I'm thinking if we're saying we have to go the way Nigeria went, it means that we ultimately disenfranchise others. Because I didn't come to a polling station or I didn't come to a registration center to come and verify whether my name is on the register or not. Right. And I didn't do it within an extended open period or whatever it is. It means that I don't have to get to vote in November. That's a bit discriminatory, is that not?
Thank you very much, and good morning to our cherished viewers, and more especially the good people of Damongo constituency. The voter registration exercise will kick off on 28th. And so far, preparation is on the ground. All political parties are working feverishly to ensure that we monitor and ensure that the right people register. And that is the surest way. You can't go and sleep in your room, get up the whole day and have a very good register. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity to extend my thanks to the chairman of Damongo constituency, NDC, and the executive for doing all that it could to train our people to make sure that we man the various polling stations. Ecomog is doing very well for the party in the constituency. I want to thank him for that. But you see, there's hula baloo every time as to the register. Nigeria cannot compare themselves to Ghana when it comes to elections. We are far, 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 far ahead of Nigeria. So when we do references for something that has been organized once, and the whole world praised, and therefore, who said Nigeria, they didn't have problems with the voter register after the elections. But elections are won by vigilance. 2, all what MPP have said, I want to narrow it to one. Last week, their communication director, Honorable Akomia, came out. Whether with validation or not, they know they will win the elections. That is. 2, the eminent people who came out with this thing, one of them came out and said they never recommended anything about validation. The recommendation were 6 points, and none of them indicated that the validation must happen. We must put that one on records.
They said in the sense that the MPP is saying.
Yes, there's nothing like validation. 3, EC had also come out that apart from this limited registration exercise, they are discussing with the various political parties to ensure that registration continues even after the limited registration.
Meaning what?
Meaning that those who will be 18 in August can go to any of the EC's office and get him or herself registered because he's qualified to vote. So this limited registration shouldn't deny those who will be 18 years before November 7 from registering to vote. So EC had come out clearly that they are discussing with the various political parties and stakeholders to ensure that even after the limited registration exercise, registration can go on. Then when it comes to whether it is bloated or not, I think the UK High Commissioner just came out with a statement indicating that even the UK register is not perfect.
That is not sacrosanct, yes.
Yeah, it's not perfect. And that will tell you that no voter register is perfect in this world. Yes. People die.
But we have specific issues that we feel are dogging our register. For which, if we had the Electoral Commission having a certain commitment to it, in agreement with what the other political parties and the stakeholders are saying, we could rate the register off.
Then we need to change certain laws. If the law says A is the process you can use to ensure that you have a good register, you can't just throw it overboard and go. They can always be. Then we have to start a way of saying that we've grown to a certain extent. We think that we need to change the law to be able to suit current challenges.
But I would want to ask Mr. Michael Quay, from your perspective, it seems that you still have great difficulties with the position of the EC and the way it's going about it. But which one will make you more satisfied within the status quo as we have it?
Okay. Now, I don't want to make this an argument.
It's never been an argument.
No, I know. I don't want to make it an argument because the NDC seem to want to make it a fight. I'm coming, and I want to explain why. Look, it is not about what the MPP is saying or what the NDC is saying. First of all, he said that we are far ahead of Nigeria. I don't agree with that. Nigeria has the PVC voters card. Do we have it?
And it's the best means by which we can organize elections.
It's the best because that card is better than our voter card, which has nothing on it.
By whose perspective?
I'm coming. Their card has biometric details on it. We don't. I don't want Ghanaians to always sit here and think we are the best, we are the best. We used to be the best. But even within West Africa, Nigeria, Ivory Coast and so on, they have more millionaires than us. Their economy is better than ours. So don't sit here. Have you been to Abuja before?
You are not right.
The kind of capital city you see in Abuja, is that what we have in Accra? Let's stop this condescending behavior and deal with our issues that we are far ahead of Nigeria. We are not. When we are saying we want to use national service personnel for our elections, they are using professors of universities. When we refuse to let teachers go and do last election, when we refuse to allow journalists like Ronald Walker to vote the day before, so they'll be available to go to Mumpubu Yoyo and Damango early at dawn to cover the election, and we say we are ahead, we're actually retrogressing, even by our own standards. So that condescending
But the Nigerian elections had difficulties, only that the party decided not to take it up, like we did in 2012, in which your party decided to take the issues they had to court.
Difficulties. There were difficulties in 2000. They had difficulties in 2004. They went to court. We had difficulties. It's not about that. We are saying that don't say that we are far ahead, because on what basis are we far ahead of Nigeria? Nigeria is more advanced than us. When you go to Nigeria, they have everything more than us, from even army planes. So we should stop that talk and deal with our problems. Now, he said the issue is they didn't use the word validation.
I'm not saying they didn't. They didn't
No,
say
you said
they
they didn't
should
say.
validate.
They,
I never
wait,
said they
they
didn't use
say.
the word.
Oh, you said they didn't use the word validation.
No. I said
Okay,
a member
didn't
of
say
the group said they never recommended validation.
Okay.
I didn't say
Very
they
good.
didn't use the
Okay.
word.
So they never recommended validation.
Yes.
They never used the word validation.
I never
They never
yet
said
said that
validation. All in the same bracket. Let me explain something. We are not saying that they used the word validation. Because if you listen to my submission, I said they suggested that there should be exhibition. We all agree on exhibition. Him and I sitting here. Because half a loaf is better than none. The half a loaf exhibition, the committee has also said that the exhibition cannot be according to the law as it stands now because it is insufficient. And then they went ahead to recommend how it should be done. And the way they recommended that it should be done is what is called validation. That's what I'm saying to Ghanaians. I'm saying that what they are refusing to understand is that, yes, they said exhibition, but the EC is just taking exhibition and staying with the old type of exhibition. But EC, they recommended to you exhibition by a new formula.
So in other words, you're saying that the recommendations of the committee have been misinterpreted by the EC.
Yes, because
which is the lawful organization to organize elections in Ghana.
And the EC...
And your understanding of the recommendations...
It's not my understanding. They gave us a
I'm not talking about you personally. Okay. Your party's position, based on what, by inference, you're referring to, is the best interpretation of what the recommendations of the committee is, for which the EC needs to take.
Let me make this clear. It's not about my interpretation.
I'm not talking you personally.
I'm talking
about the position.
Let's see my party. No, my party doesn't have a position as far as exhibition is concerned. It is the committee that has a position.
Yes.
And the committee's position is that...
And I'm saying, and I'm asking you, that what you are espousing to be the interpretation you give to the
that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving
the recommendations of the committee is the best interpretation compared to what the Electoral Commission has.
What I'm saying is that the committee said there should be exhibition, but the committee did not say that the kind of exhibition the EC want to do is what they are doing. That is our problem.
In other words, you are saying what the EC is doing is wrong.
What they are doing
is not what the committee recommended.
It's not just wrong.
And I'm saying that what you are saying is what your interpretation is of what the committee's recommendation
is. It's not my interpretation. I'm saying that the committee said that the exhibition should be done.
The committee have come...
Hold on. The committee did not use the word validation. We are confusing the issue here. Remove the political parties. Let us look at what the committee said. They said exhibition. Then they said when you do it A, it is not good. When you do it B, it is good. But the EC is doing A, which the committee is telling them is not a good exhibition. And we are saying that why are you not doing D? Because B is the right way according to the committee. Do you understand the problem? So we are now telling the EC that...
I understand what you are saying.
Good, so it's not about my interpretation.
My understanding from what you are saying is that the committee sat down.
Yes.
They did consultation, came out with a paper of recommendations.
Yes.
Now, they gave that very recommendation to the national body, the EC, which tasked them to do all that.
Yes.
And then, based on what they have written, the EC is doing that. Yes. But you're saying what the EC is doing is wrong.
No,
because
what I'm saying is
it's not being implemented fully.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
But
I've got it now.
So you are saying that. So what they are doing, what rather you are saying should be done is what the EC should do.
I'm saying no. I'm saying that the EC don't go into a half-baked situation. When they recommended exhibition, you say you agree. But
so you are not saying the same thing.
No, they are saying that.
You see, my
no, hold on. You're not getting me. I'm saying that they say we should do exhibition. The EC has agreed. But they are saying that EC should not do A.
Okay.
They should do B. Why is it that you have agreed on the exhibition, but you are doing A?
How do you interpret the position of the EC? You think that is just flagrant?
So the EC is difficult to tell because even there was a point. Let me just land on this.
No, don't.
I need to. No, you ask the question. Roland, you need to let me.
No, it's just.
Roland, I know, but you need to let me just make this point.
No.
Look, there have been times where myself and the NDC we've disagreed with the EC.
Yes.
For example,
and that's why I asked you. What do you make of the EC's
Roland, you're
position?
interrupting me all that. Let me just make the point. The point I'm trying to make is this: the EC, even when it came to local government elections, when the law at that time said they should use 21 days. They refused it. Do you understand? And EC are the ones who create the CI. So if there's a problem and you have been told that make a new law to deal with a certain old problem. Almost, thank you.
You see, my brother, when I said we are far ahead, he concluded in terms of economy and all those things. But I understand him. They pick where they want. We are talking about elections.
That's what I meant.
Per the election we have gone through.
The track record we have.
The track record. And after the election in Nigeria, the Electoral Commissioner came to thank our former EC boss.
But it still doesn't take away
I'm telling you, that tells you that we had
recognized as being the most
a lot of experience in that. That is one. And I don't argue, because when Buhari won, they are choosing which one they want to. When they are queuing for petrol, they have run away from it.
Oh, you mean Nigeria? They
choose what they want
went to queue for
Two,
petrol
they are,
2 years ago.
these people, they are interpreting what the committee has written than what the committee members knew. They wrote it. They brought out their recommendations. You, as a political party, should urge them to ensure that EC implement what they recommend.
What if they believe
you have already taken it on board as if you have taken it as if they wrote the report. A member came out and said the method by which you are interpreting your validation is not the right.
No, he never said the method. Because he said they never used the word validation.
No, you never said.
But the method is that. Have you seen the report?
Demonstration.
Okay.
In your demonstration.
Roland, have you seen
President Jerry John Rawlings, the former president, do you know him?
You are a journalist. I need to ask you this question. Have you seen
know
the
him?
report?
In your demonstration.
Are you asking me a question?
Have you seen the report?
Yes, I've seen the report.
Have you seen the table in the report?
I've read the report.
Thank you. So why are you saying that it is my
recommendations?
You know the former president. He says that the neutrality of the security agencies will be key to successful November elections. I agree too. And I don't think that so far our security agencies have behaved untowardly during election times. Well, maybe more recent, from 2004, it's been so far so good.
Tell us.
I'll start with you, sir. Michael Quay.
Yeah. Oh, I would have loved you to let him tell us why.
Okay, talk it.
Because
elections over the years from 92 has continued to improve in Ghana. One, because of the method of elections, we moved from ID without pictures to colored ID with pictures, moved back to black and white in the 2000s, back to colored, and then people recommended that biometric registration was the best way. We went biometric. When it comes to security, those days, because of the social media, was very limited. Even making a telephone call was a problem in 92. It's not the same as we speak.
The situation has changed.
It has changed drastically.
And we also have moved on.
Yes. And as such, a lot of issues in terms of security can easily be taken care of. Anything that happens, I'm telling you, within 5 minutes, it's all over the country. And it gives the security quick response to be able to be there on time. In the last election, 2012, we've now had a situation where security has abused anything. No, I've not heard of any major security problem that we had, and it has been successful.
But it's important that we keep the assurances there.
Very, very important.
For the stakeholders to have that kind of inner satisfaction.
What prevents it
that we will go to the polls?
What happened the last election, I believe that there will be even an improvement on it. And that's why former President Rawlings indicated that he's very certain that at the end of the day, we'll have a very peaceful election. But just caution the security to be conscious, to be themselves.
Have you had fears? And so going to this very election, you think that the security will be very much neutral?
I've not had any fears with the election because, in 2012, despite our anger at the repugnant behavior of the EC, especially in my constituency.
Repugnant behavior?
Bad behavior
of the EC?
In my constituency.
In the last election?
Yes, in my constituency, the EC alone cordoned themselves off. NDC and MPP were chatting behind the yellow line. When the results came, they had added 9,000 to President Mahama and 7,000 to Sufa Akwoku. Disgraceful behavior. We had to go through it line by line with them to eventually find out that even NDC is not sitting there, UEC alone, you went to add all these figures. Very bad.
Could be by mistake.
But look at the police.
Mistake.
No mistake. It's deliberate. The police. I don't think anybody has complained about the police till today. I don't think you've ever heard. The way the IGP then, Porteria, yeah, the way he handled the police on that day, were respectful. Look, ask my brother. If MPP person mess about, they catch you.
Yeah.
NDC, some MCs were trying to mess up. MCE, they arrested him and put him in jail. You see, everybody is quiet because we see that you have an even hand. Nobody will complain.
So you trust the security agencies?
I trust them, but the BNI, the way they started behaving of late.
The BNI, are they also involved?
Well, that's what I'm saying. No. So as for them, we are giving them warning in advance that the way they've been arresting people, flouting court order, when the court says they should give somebody bail, they'll go and catch you and put you in a corner. When you are a Kufuor's photographer, they'll catch you and put you in a corner for all sorts of nonsensical reasons. It's unacceptable.
All right.
So if President John Mahama won't sack the head of the BNI, at least he should warn him.
Are you giving him pressure for him to say?
Oh, as for me, in my opinion, I think it's about time that the BNI director was sacked.
Okay.
Because his mistakes have been too many.
Since both of you are satisfied, we'll go on to
No. I have to react to something.
Okay, what
when you talk of BNI and that of late, it is not of late.
They've always been
always been like that.
So you say whether it's MPP on or NDC on. But
it has always been like that.
But it's not a very good thing.
So when you use the word,
that's what he's talking about.
No, if it is, when you say of late, it relates to recent events.
Because in the last year,
let me tell you.
No, he's been talking about in the course of, let's say, over decades.
Let me say from 2000. We're in this country.
From 2000, why? Not 1992.
That he said over a decade.
So they're not
even prior to 1992.
That's why I said
BNI director
over a decade.
Simple.
So you are saying that it spans,
from 2000.
It spans across?
Yes.
Okay.
Tachuchi Kato was arrested in the
Okay, that's okay. Please.
We're
not here for history.
Gallos,
we are not here for history. The new central bank governor, Dr. Abdul Nasiru Isahaku, and you know him, he has given all indications that he will make sure that we stem the tide of falling cedi, we improve the situation of inflation, etc. And I'm starting with you, Sir. I see that you have jotted a lot of things on the economy. Because the numbers have not been too good. The variables as far as the economy.
I would beg to differ, and I would want to pat my friend and say, look, he is very, very nice with the word not too good. It's been a disaster. The economy has been crisis
after crisis.
We all know. Everybody knows. Even John Mohammed's mother knows that the economy is bad. Why are we saying this? Let us start even with this so-called, what do you call it, economic microcosms. The big economy itself, that's the macro economy. How is it faring?
The bigger, macro.
Yes, the macro. How is it faring? What is the percentage of growth? 4%. Will we be able to create jobs with this kind of economy?
Well, likely even to come down this year.
Let us put everything aside and call a spade a spade. The economy has been abysmal. Let us look at our debt to GDP. Now at 74%. Sometimes when I talk about these economy things, I want to not talk because even to politicize economy is not fair on the Ghanaians who are suffering. If you look at the way, as a country, manufacturing, which is supposed to create employment, is growing negative. Negative. And you know that is our secondary job creation tool. The primary one, agriculture, 0.04%. That might go MP. Aren't you ashamed that a government can give us these abysmal factors and then they tell us, Twaso.
Mr. Michael Quay, don't you think that your position sometimes it doesn't always follow the norm. That using yardstick of GDP, etc., is not the best means by which we can give indications.
So
that
I won't even argue with that. What you use? Because if you look at Shewa sitting Nafatu Ababa, look into your pocket and vote. There's nothing in the pocket. And because there's nothing in the pocket, they told us that they will give us money in our pocket in 2017. But they will do infrastructure now. So the infrastructure, they can do contracts and they will put the money in their pocket.
Okay.
And they will fold.
Do you know the World Economic Forum usually convened?
Yes.
And at a recent one, Professor Joseph Stiglitz, he's been to Ghana several times. I've interviewed him, I think 1 or 2 times. And IMF head Christian Lagarde and MIT Professor Eric Bruins-Jolson all said GDP is a poor indicator of progress and argued for a change to the way we measure economic and social growth and development. What do you say to that?
So what is the
I'm
alternative?
asking you this very question. I'm asking you this very question because
I'm answering it that what is the alternative? If you have an alternative, they should bring it. So I'll measure NDC by that alternative too and see if they are doing well. So, what about growth? Is growth bad? What about manufacturing at -%? That one too is bad. Or agric at 0.04. That one too is bad. I'll also quote something for you. The IMF. You know the IMF. They say that they are not even sure Ghana can pay their debt in May. Have you read that one?
Yes, I have.
Yes, IMF. It's not me. You see, what hurts me about NDC is my brother, as he's sitting here, he's getting his pay, he's getting his HIPIC allowance, he's dressed here nice in agric uniform with the negative 0.02.
It's not
and
negative.
Then 0.04.
Yes.
Okay, 0.04. The negative is manufacturing. Thanks for reminding Ghanaians. The negative in manufacturing and the zero on agriculture. What did they expect us to do? My brother, then when they finish, the president tells us that, I lost 1 year because of election petition. Don't you remember President John Mahama traveling abroad, going around Ghana, collecting his pay, using 4x4, taking taxpayers' money, and telling us that he's not bothered about the Supreme Court?
Well, he granted an interview to the BBC.
Yes. And said that.
Yes.
And he didn't just say that. He went far to even go and take a loan. If you remember, 1 billion euro bond. Did he not go and take it? Did the president not even go as far as give extra on
your
VAT?
Point is what?
My point was he was working. And he was failing. And now
so
that
he just worked and
he
failed.
worked and failed and then came to make an excuse.
Thank you very much.
But you see, the other side of the narrative is, it seems that your critics say you just don't prioritize. You seem to spend so much on infrastructure provision, etc., and leaving the macro levels of the economy hanging, ultimately also influencing the micro level.
It is a fact that we have challenges with power, with drop in the price of gold, and with the drop in the price of cocoa and other material actually affected the inflow. So the economy had some challenges, to be very frank. However, it has picked up over the years. And we are doing quite well, very, very well. And that is why the World Bank itself, after giving an overview of the economies in Africa, they identify Ghana as one of the countries where the economy is quite resilient.
Well,
They make
that's
it
not
very
true.
clear. Let me
That's
come.
not true.
I'm coming.
They say the top 10 economies good in Africa. We are not even part
My
of it.
friend, let me come.
You don't know this?
the recent one.
Yes,
Yeah,
the recent one.
No,
Oh,
but it's
I'm
not quoting.
how
it.
can
He
you do
said
this
the
to Ghanaians?
economy is resilient.
but
That
you're
was
not
it.
even the top.
Go and do your
I won't
analysis.
talk. I won't talk
Now,
again.
when you come to in 2000,
But we're not part of the top
I'm
10
coming.
performing economies.
When I'm saying that they said Ghana economy,
We may be
is
resilient, but we're not.
I've made that statement, which they said. That
I
Ghana
agree. I've
economy
also heard and
is
read that one.
resilient, and that is what I have said.
But I'm saying that we're not.
Mutawakil, so you can't stop lying to the
In
Ghanaians.
2007,
I don't think that's a very good
but
in
it's not fair. It's not
2007,
fair.
I'm coming.
Roland,
in
it's not fair.
2007,
No, resilient was used,
not
but
fair.
I'm saying that
we
performance and resilience are
we
not the same.
recorded 0.04 a year to election. In 2007, a year to election, agri grew by negative 1.7%.
So now you're making
which you are very, I'm just using something which is very, very much aware of. When we say economic growth, what is economic growth? In 2008, 2007, 2008, we had economic growth, and we're selling assets of government.
No, we are still selling assets.
I'm saying.
There are a lot of assets
where it is
under divestiture
where
with the
that
DIC.
asset is going is what I'm very particular about. If you sell Vodafone to be able to pay salaries, that is a difficult problem. You cannot brag of that. Is an amorphous growth. You have to go for Eurobond.
And now we go and take loans to pay off interest rates.
Yes, it's not consumption.
But it's what?
It's an investment, and the price of investment. We have to be very careful. We require that your recurrent expenditure, which is salaries, should be made by your IGF, internally generated funds. When you start selling your assets to pay recurrent expenditure, then you are in serious trouble. You go for a Eurobond.
This is an argument of equalization.
He's talking of growth. The economy is not. They had 8.4, but at the same time they were selling their assets. 2, they issue a Eurobond of 750. Are you getting my point? And out of this 750, they use part of it to meet recurrent expenditure, such as salaries.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. I know you want to continue. For all the pattern of development that we have undertaken the last 3.5 years, in which we're building huge structures with huge sums, bridges, airports, roads, etc. Your opponents say every government does that.
I'm coming.
They also say, really, we have not prioritized. We should have rather looked at the micro level.
Please, they also said it. John Mahama said it. Yes.
So that we empower the business people, the various sectoral areas of the economy.
Social infrastructure is very critical.
Where?
And he made a reference to Abuja. Go and see the infrastructure there. Did he talk about the people first? Social infrastructure is the bedrock.
Did I not talk about Nigerians are more billionaires than us and millionaires than us?
They have more people than us, and therefore, when you refer, I'm just talking about social infrastructure. When he referred to Abuja, the first thing he talked about was the infrastructure.
Roland, do you know 20 richest Africans? Ghana is not even one. Ghana. All because of, not even one.
Our economists
when in 2007,
no, 20 richest of the whole of Africa.
Tell me during the FTP,
we are taking the argument.
2, social infrastructure is important. And a colleague of mine made a statement in Mankargo that Ghana is 59 years. They talk of GDP, economic growth, while they didn't have a market, they didn't have a hospital. President Mama provided them with a market and a hospital.
And so you're saying,
now you go around and be talking of GDP.
So you're saying
GDP
those
ratio.
are the things that are important
when
to the
your debt to GDP ratio is 5. Meanwhile, people don't have access to health centers, no markets, no road. What is it?
So that's the
let me answer this. Look,
it's of no
this is a clear case of misguided priorities. Look, what is the point of going to build a big hospital instead of a district hospital? And then Kolebu was closed down because of 700,000 Ghana. 700,000 Ghana.
That's a
3 clinics. Yes. No. Wait, 3 clinics were closed because of 700,000.
That's a management.
And a girl died who came. No. It's not management issue.
We must begin to realize
my brother. Let's make this clear. Don't try to be smart.
No.
The government are not giving them their subvention. Now, do you hear even of Insawam prisons? At Insawam General Hospital. 80,000. That's all they needed for Insawam Hospital. 80,000 Ghana. So anybody, excuse me to say, a man who you are not yet in the position to build a house, but your child hasn't eaten, and you tell your child that I've gone to build a house for you, so you'll be hungry, don't eat for 3 days. Will the child live to see the house?
No.
Do you see La Polyclinic? It was a district hospital, polyclinic. Now isn't it La General Hospital? We have to go small. But you know NDC, because they want to do big contracts, which will give them big trouble to put in their pocket.
That's an allegation.
Yes, it's not an allegation. Why? Bus branding was in Ochobo. Have you heard of the recent one in the Registrar General's report?
No.
Registrar General. No. Registrar General. Have you heard? 2 days ago. Registrar General's report said that a bill that was supposed to be 27,000 they went to make it 270,000. He's in parliament, he knows.
Which people?
I don't know.
When I was
Mike
DC,
Okwe Jr.
When I was DC, I went
Mike
to Public
Okwe
Accounts
Jr.
Committee and I account for your 10.
Mike Okwe Jr. is a
NPP
deputy
were in power.
communications
And all these things
director
you are
for
saying,
the
they are more
MPP.
than
He's
that.
been in the studio. Thanks for joining me, Mike.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much.
I see you like writing on Facebook a lot. Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, it's good to be on social media. Why?
Right.
You don't write on Facebook?
I don't comment much.
I
You don't do social media?
I do.
I
read
think
more
I do
often.
Twitter. I don't.
I read more often.
You just read. You don't
I
like
read more
commenting.
often.
At least you are on there.
And Gallus,
Yes, I'm
Gallus is a member of parliament for Damango. That is Adam Mutawakilu. And thanks for joining me, sir.
What was the
Thank
name
you
again?
very much. Adam Mutawaki.
I thought I had Galus.
Gallus is my nickname.
Hey.
And
I think
I
his,
like that name.
his constituents know him by Gallus a lot. So,
Hey. Okay,
eh,
Galus.
AM Talk is brought to you by Diamond Diagnostics, and as always, we make sure that we bring you the best services in diagnostics. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you entertainment. Do stay on.